Who is this woman? In Revelation 14:8, John writes about a vision given to him, of a woman, who made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, which are her ungodly and evil ways that contradict the laws of God. Later in Revelation 17:18, he is given additional information about this woman, and he writes it down. He is told, "And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth." In this statement, the Apostle John is presented with double symbolism. The symbol of a woman, and a city, are both used in the description of a world power. In prophecy, we learn that a woman represents a church. Be it the church of God, his pure bride, or an apostate church, a woman in prophecy represents a church. Now, there is only one church that is officially identified by a city, and whose seat of office is a city-state. That church is the Roman Catholic Church, Rome being a city and her seat of office is Vatican City. So, there is no mistake as to who is being represented, with the double symbolism of both a woman and a city. Now, this is the same church referred to as Babylon in Revelation 18:10, and spoken of as a great and mighty city, to show its global economic and political dominance. Whereas Revelation chapter 17 dealt with the judgment of religious Babylon, Revelation chapter 18, among other things, describes the power, control and eventual demise of economic, political Babylon. Although the Babylon in these two chapters is the same, God is giving us two separate views of Babylon in the end times.
Crown Prince Philippe of Spain and his wife were among those the Pope greeted. Philippe was one of 3 crown princesses who was present. There were no invitations sent out. All who wanted to be there were, said the Vatican, warmly welcomed. There was a brief chat with Robert Mugabe and his wife. The president of Zimbabwe is a devout Roman Catholic. Behind him, in line and waiting to meet the Pope, leaders from the European Union, from where President Mugabe is barred for alleged breach of human rights. The Vatican is a sovereign state outside the EU, and so he was free to travel to the inaugural Mass. Joe Biden, the Vice President of the United States, had made the journey.
In the book The Great Controversy, commenting on Revelation 18, we are told, this scripture points forward to a time when the announcement of the fall of Babylon, as made by the second angel of Revelation 14:8, is to be repeated, with the additional mention of the corruptions, which have been entering the various organizations that constitute Babylon. So, there is a message to be given, concerning the corruption of Babylon and her influence among many organizations, be they businesses, governments, or religions. There are many organizations right now under the control of this Babylon church. In verse 3 of Revelation 18, we are given an idea to the extent this Babylon's influence will infiltrate the whole earth. First the nations, the general population, then the governments, and finally the business world. The merchants will be all under the control of this Babylon. The verse says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." Today this prophecy is quickly taking place, right before our eyes. The apostate woman is busy infiltrating international organizations, solely for world domination. Here is an admission by a Catholic priest, Patrick Henry. He says, "We, the hierarchy of the Roman Catholic Church, expect all loyal children of the Church, to assist the President of the USA, with all our strength, to see the individuals comprising the USA Supreme Court, shall obey the President's injunctions, and if necessary, we shall change, mend or blot the present Constitution, so that the President may enforce his, or rather our humanitarian program, and all phases of human rights, as laid down by our saintly popes, and the Holy Mother Church." In the end times, there will be an alliance between these two global powers, the papacy and the United States. When this comes to pass, a law for the observance of Sunday worship will be enforced, and all economic activity, buying and selling, will be controlled. Evidence of this alliance was recorded in Time magazine's cover article of February 1992, called Holy Alliance. It stated, "One of his earliest goals as president," Reagan says, "was to recognize the Vatican as a state and make them an ally." In 1984 the United States appointed its first ambassador to the Vatican under President Reagan. We are informed. The Roman Catholic Church, with all its ramifications throughout the world, forms one vast organization under the control, and designed to serve the interests, of the Papal See. History testifies of her artful and persistent efforts to insinuate herself into the affairs of nations, to further her own aims. In the year 1204, Pope Innocent III, extracted from Peter II, the following extraordinary oath. "I, Peter, King, profess and promise to be ever faithful and obedient to my Lord, Pope Innocent, to his Catholic successors, and the Roman Church, and faithfully to preserve my kingdom in his obedience, defending the Catholic faith." So, the papacy is secretly gaining political power to take control of the world and enforce its false Sabbath, but the Bible tells us what will be the expected end of this Babylon. Revelation 18:21 states, "A mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all." The greater power, who is not of this world, will stand for the children of God, and destroy the powers of Babylon.